What's up, pros? What's up, players? Playettes. Canal here. Bulls on Wall Street. Sorry for posting late. We got sick members in the family, and I've been on duty calls the last few days, but we're just starting to get back to normal over here. So now, let's take a look. We had another strong day in the market. It was a trend day, a gap and grind. That was a little bit, to be expected. I was telling the I was telling the guys in the chat room that, with the State of the Union tonight and all this kind of stuff, you often will get these kind of days. You get everybody in a good old mood, right? So we had a nice gap and grind day on the Qs. You can see on the IWM, held up pretty nicely at 0.9%. The breakout hasn't confirmed yet, but it hasn't failed yet. We're just kind of in it. So far, so good. It's, the market is just grinding along. Now, as we get more and more extended, things start to get a little bit more shaky in terms of you get like more fake outs and fake breakouts and things of that nature. But we haven't seen any huge deterioration in price action. I have noticed that out of our trading patterns that we use, some of them like ORBs and stuff like that are working not as good as doing quick pullback buys. What I mean by quick pullback buys is, and when stocks gap up, like hitting them into the bone zone, right? First pullback into the MAs, something similar, right? Like this would be, right, a quick pullback buy. So, like you can see here, right, this is an ORB, a 3-candle breakout. But instead, it's the pullback into the bone zones that have been really working here. See this? Like, you did get opening push, but it's really that first pullback that's been grinding. So, a slight change in price character and how the patterns are reacting. But, overall, it's still a strong market. We're not seeing too much deterioration in price action. At this moment, we're just kind of all systems is go. It seems like it's a little bit narrow right now. I going through my scans, I like to go through a lot. There's a lot of these just kind of like $6, $7, $8 kind of pump and dumps going, right? You didn't really see, at least today, like a big besides like Kava, I thought was really the only one out of kind of like these like higher price names that was kind of trending that showed up on the scans. But otherwise, it was kind of a whole host of just like smaller names and some semiconductor names and stuff like that. We did get a nice run in big caps also. So if you look at the largies, that's what I mean by I felt a little narrow today. If you look at the big boys, you had NVIDIA up 6.5%. ARM up 3, Meta up 3, which 3 is a lot for Meta. Google even finished up 2, which 2 is a lot for Google, right? And so you got kind of, this was a little bit of a Mag 7 run today for the most part. So just something kind of keep in the back of your heads too. Now let's get into the watch list. There's some good names out there that I thought we want to capture here, and then I'll make this short and sweet for you guys here since we're running a little bit late. Rivian, 156 million shares in volume. They had an upgrade today. I read it. I didn't think anything of it. And then the price action deemed this, price. It had an upgrade in the morning, or I think it was yesterday. And then you had a midday popper here. This goes more affordable EV model, share soar. So, in this market, why not, right? Turds fly, and what's turdier than Rivian? Old Kroger here. Look at the breakout here. This is a multi-year breakout here. 9% move. Nothing sexy, but it's got enough range. You can see here, like, dude, that's some good chatters right there. So, right, you can see what ends up happening. This thing, it really just... It broke its kind of pre-market flag and took off the first candle, and that's happening a lot in this earnings season. I think that's going to be, this is a good overall looker on it too. Butamus Maximus, man. Let's see if this has a weak open on it. We can go red to green. ON Semiconductor, really one of the last few semis. Really one of the last few semis that's sitting on the bottom. Or close to a bottom, I should say. You're right at the 200-day moving average. You got this base right here. Let's see if we take out this base and it plays a little catch-up to the rest of its friends. You had a nice trend on this today. There's a chance this one actually goes through. Kava, we already looked at here. We broke the flag today. This was an earnings mover, and frankly, it's having a nice follow through. It's got a good ATR, 5.3% daily ATR, right in a nice sweet spot. You got CLF here. There's a breakout right at 21.20. Not the sexiest name. If it breaks out, it's probably going to move a buck, but you can get some size in it. It's pretty liquid. E and pH and setting, we're going today. You got a sweet spot here. You've remounted the 200-day moving average. It's kind of 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests here. If it can close and hold over here, I think that's going to give it a little bit of a squeeze. The range is pretty good on this. Net's got a nice spot here. 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests. On the earnings day, it was at 115, so you got some good upside on this thing. Love the look of it. Google held and closed over its 200-day moving average. Probably top of the list for tomorrow. Especially on a Friday, Google options, which are cheap anyways because it doesn't move much. So some Friday 0 DTEs, if we get a week open or a takeout of 135, I think could be a very nice chatters. You got Okta here is looking pretty good. Dell's got a flag here also, just marinating here post-earnings. I leave these two alone. And this GitHub, or GitLab, I should say. This was its earnings day low. Then you had a little pop, and now you're coming down. Watch this, 58.50. If it takes that out, I'd send an alert right there. If it takes that out, I think we got a nice fader on this for tomorrow. Mongo Bongo had its earnings come out. Nasty little thing. If it holds under the 200-day moving average, we can keep shredding this thing. And that's it. Short and sweet today. All right, guys. So, tomorrow is Friday. Lately, Fridays have been squeezers. Now we're a little bit more extended than we were the previous Friday, so that comes into play. But one of the mistakes that's often happened is trying to get too aggressive and do a bunch of shorting on Fridays. It does work sometimes, but we do got to be careful. Fridays have been just fueled by options, expiration, and all this kind of stuff. And you could get exaggerated runs in stocks. So just keep that in mind. Guys, let me know if you have any questions. I love you guys. Peace.